Before I start off, I want to say rest in peace to Amir Locke. Condolences to his family. And if you don't know, Amir Locke was the young man that was killed down in Minneapolis on February the 2nd, 2022 from a No Knock Warrant. And as I seen the video, the body camera from the officer and the officers who served a no-knock warrant, and you see the young man under the covers, he was asleep. And if we all know, some people sleep hard, some people are light sleepers. But regardless of the case, when you sleep, right? And first and foremost, anytime you're woken up out of your sleep, your vision is cloudy. You can't really see. You're trying to get your bearings together, okay? Because you were asleep. And then, not only that, even if you were alert and awoke, if somebody comes to your door, period, if you got a friend or whatever, relative, or someone comes to your home unexpected, you're like, you're on high alert. Most times, some people, automatically start jumping and looking for a weapon, especially depending on what time it is. Especially if it's late at night, or if you even hear anybody touching your door, and say you're up and you're in your living room watching TV, and someone comes to your door, and you hear someone fiddling with your door, that's gonna startle you while you're woke. So, not even talking about if you're asleep. Somebody comes in and barging in, and you got a group of individuals. It's dark. You got a group of individuals in dark clothing, and they're pointing weapons at you. And you're sleeping with your weapon. That's registered. It's not illegal. You're not even the person they're looking for. You're in the comforts of your own domain. And somebody busts in on you while you sleep. And you jump up, because it could be if you're not a hard sleeper, you're a light sleeper, you could just jump up. But first and foremost, the no-knock warrants, we look around and we see all that's been going on between the police and citizens, innocent citizens, period, around the country, getting gunned down, right on camera, right in front of children sitting in the back seat. A man gets gunned down right in front of his girlfriend, dies right there in real time in front of us. You see the tape. A woman gets dragged out of a car and pretty much beat. Head slammed on the concrete. Days later, they found her dead in a cell. There's all types of situations we could go on and on and on. The George Floyd situation, choking that man out, pretty much is what happened. Just in a matter of 3 years, you got Minneapolis, you have like 3 deaths by the hands of police. Police departments there has blood on their hands. You would think that they will handle things a lot different. All the scrutiny that they're coming under. You still have those former cops that witnessed Derek Chauvin choking out George Floyd. That trial still hasn't started yet. So you still have that still lingering in the air. Even Chauvin got his sentence, but still those cops didn't get sentenced yet. They still hadn't had their day yet in court, and it's coming. But you still have this air, the negativity. The citizens don't trust your police department. Why? Wouldn't the mayor? Why didn't he ban the No Knock Warrant? Why didn't he do that? Why are you just now doing it after another death is on the hands of not only your city, but your police department? Why? And let's talk about this for a minute when we talk about the No Knock Warrants. Warrants, period. It's all about when they come, even if it's a no-knock warrant or not. They're raiding people's homes, wee hours of the morning, really late at night. It's all about catching you off guard. But every time that they come, they coming with the guns up. You've seen it on your cop shows. You've seen it on you've seen it. They're coming with they're coming with the guns up. Okay? They're ready for whatever. Okay? But my thing is, when people are asleep, you're coming in and you're knowing that people are asleep. That is your thing. You're hoping to catch them when they're asleep, right? But in this instance, you caught a guy that wasn't even a suspect. You caught him off guard and you killed the young man. He had a gun. Amir Locke had a gun that was registered to him. It was legal. He wasn't someone in the streets doing anything. He was a working young man. From our understanding, he worked. And he purchased the gun, sources said, and his mom's. He purchased the gun because he works. And there's been heavy carjacking going on in the city there, Minneapolis. So he bought it to protect himself. He's a citizen, he has a right to, right? But why is it all the time that, what makes it seem worse is that when a citizen has a gun and, the police think that nobody else should have a gun when it's your right to bear arms legally. And so when they run across a citizen who has a weapon, they freak out most times. My thing is, why did they kill that young man? He never had a chance. He never had a chance to identify himself. They never gave him the chance to identify himself. He never drew the weapon at them. From the body cam, we seen it. So the same thing that we seen, the officer seen. He had the handle in his hand. He never had his hand on the trigger. You caught a man that was asleep. He never lunged at you. He never even got the chance to say anything to you. He never got the chance to ask, who are you? Invading his privacy. So what do you think was going to happen? What did you really expect would happen? What was their expectations when you go and you put a key in a door that you don't reside? The bad thing is when you think about it, it didn't matter if that young man had a gun or not. Any false move, he could have possibly got killed. Just subtract that gun away. They would have still shot that young man. But it's amazing how they pointed out that that young man had a weapon and gave up his name so freely, but continued to protect that officer at that time. It's just amazing to me how these things play out and how it works. Once again, I want to say, rest young man Amir Locke, and I hope that his family gets the justice that they so deserve, and I hope then Amir Locke can rest peacefully. And I pray that that cop does not rest peacefully, at night, because of the choice that he made. Because, you never gave someone a chance to even identify their own self to you. Because if you had, maybe he would have had a chance to live. Because you would have seen he's not the one that you guys were looking for. I want to give a shout out too, because I listened to that lawyer, Nakima Armstrong, the lawyer and activist, and also she was the president of the Minneapolis chapter of the NAACP. She put that mayor and that chief of that police, she put them in check, and she let them know the real and how you feel, and she let them know pretty much like, you're not going to play me and have me a part of this, and y'all going to sit here and whitewash the situation, and there's too much blood on y'all hands and on the police department's hands, and y'all need to come and speak the truth. The mayor and the mayor walked away during a press conference. Him and that the chief of the police there, and it was quite disrespectful to me, because the people were trying to get answers and trying to get understanding of why, and they couldn't give them the answer. They kept saying they didn't know why. I've said it many times before. You pay people, taxpayers' money fund these city governments, and these folks run for different offices within your local governments, and then when they get in there, they treat you like shit. Now nothing you says matter. Now nothing you say makes sense. Now nothing you say doesn't. That's not quite it. Nothing you say is right, but when they want your votes, everything you can say is right then. Everything is right then. You matter so much when it's time for them to garner votes from you. But these people come in, and somehow they get sucked up in the belly of the beast and the conniving and all the foolery, that can go on in local governments. And they forget their job title. You are a public servant. You are to serve the public. They forget that. And they often, always, I should say, act like the people work for them. How sway? It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. So, I hope that the city, Minneapolis, I hope that they continue to march and let their presence be heard. I hope that they can do it peacefully. And I hope that they, that there's no casualties lost in their protest, and keep their eyes up, keep their chin up, and be clear that there are going to be people lurking amongst them trying to change the narrative. And we've seen it during the George Floyd situation. We continue to see it throughout the country, and it's so funny. Like, it seems like these things, they come in spells. these situations with the cop killings. You know, it's funny. I was just saying, like, wow, it's been quiet, and it's bad when you say things like that, like, wow, hey, that's a good thing. We haven't heard any police shootings, you know. And I just said that last week early, like last week, probably, you know, like the ending of January. You know, the last week of January, I was just saying that, and it's like, wow, I spoke too soon. And it's a shame, because this type of thing been happening for years and years. But the reason why it's put on the spotlight has been on is because of these cameras, these things right here. Because people can record things in real time, and then you got the body cameras. So, you know, now, you know, with the body cameras, you know, now it's supposed to be for accountability. You know, but these things are happening still with body cameras, and a lot of times these officers they're still not being held accountable for their actions. It's still some excuse made. Now, we all have jobs, right? We all have jobs, whether you're a business owner or not. We all have jobs, right? And if we do something wrong on a job, right, there's penalties. Even if you own a business and you do something wrong, you make one wrong, you know, you're doing your tax forms and you may put the wrong digits in there, or you do something wrong, there's going to be a penalty, right? Or if you don't pay enough tax, it's going to be a penalty, right? If you don't treat your employees right, it's going to be a penalty, right? Because you're going to lose them, right? And it might be, depending on the industry you're in, it might be kind of hard for you to get another employee after you lost that one good one, right? Or that one employee, period. If you work, if you're not an entrepreneur and you work for someone and you continue to come late to work and you're getting numerous write-ups, what'll happen eventually? They're gonna terminate you, right? They're gonna terminate you. You're gonna terminate your employment. If you work for a company and you do anything wrong, and you continue to do it, and then sometimes it's a, you know, certain companies, they don't have too much tolerance for certain things. So you might do one thing that's totally against that company's ethics, code of ethics, and they're going to terminate you. No questions asked. So I'm trying to understand, even down to our servicemen and women in the military, if they do something wrong, they get held accountable for it. If our servicemen or women, if they go home and don't come back to post, if they go home for a break and they don't come back when they're supposed to, and they go AWOL, they get penalized, which can lead to jail, depending on the severity. So how is it that we can have our police men and women, how can we have them do things, and there's like, you know, it's a possibility that they can kind of get off, when the whole world can see that they're in a wrong? A lot of people can play the law card and say, oh yeah, well, it's the law. No. You just can't take someone's life and just say, you know, the excuses that we have heard when we had folks having their lives taken from them, and they were just innocent folks, tax-paying people, So, like I said, once again, peace and blessings be with Amir Locke and his family at this time. As his mother had stated in one of the media, press conference, I hope that she and her family gets the justice that they so deserve, and that Amir Locke so deserves. The young man seemed to have had a future ahead of him, that he was planning it out, he was getting things together for himself, and it got stripped from him. It got stripped from him. And it's just so sickening when someone's innocent and you try to make them look like the villain. They talked about this young man having a gun as if he, like he was in the wrong when somebody barged in where he was sleeping. A no knock warrant. When you go in your home, you put your key in your door whenever time of day it is, and you retire to your home, and you lock that door. That's your domain. That's your peace. You're in your peace. You're in your calm. You're out from the world. You're in your safe haven. That's what we think. That's what we feel. Right? We lock up the house. We retire to the bed, relax, and fall asleep. We're not bothering anybody. Okay, you have there's many people, there's many of us that sleep with our weapons next to us that are legal. And sleep with our weapons next to us, under us. Added protection. Who says you're in the wrong in your domain? So if someone breaks and enters our home, it's okay for us to unleash the dragon onto them. But the police can just put a key in your door, and it should be all right. Like, you shouldn't be startled. Like, we're not going to think. Everyone knows, every one of those officers know, if someone entered their home in such a manner, they're going to unleash the dragon on them as well. So why are we playing this game? Why are we allowing these no-knock warrants? Why are we doing this? It's a setup, period. It's the recipe for destruction. Nothing good can happen out of that. Okay? We have to be understanding of a lot of things. If you can't understand it all the time, the police, you're not the only ones with legal weapons. If you just bust up in someone's home, you don't know what you're going to encounter, right or wrong. That's why you guys arm up and you come with your guns out, because you don't know what to expect, right? When you're coming in such a manner. So why are you coming in that manner? In this case, you entered and shot the wrong person. This is the type of crap that will continue to happen if it isn't put in law that it should be voided, period, around the country. Especially in these times, man. There's so much stuff is going on. So many people are arming up and getting weapons, and people are on the edge about things and paranoid about things that you don't know, and then if you are alert and not sleeping, someone barges in your house and you're alert and you're woke, man, How many times you can be just enjoying your night, you're on a couch, you can be watching TV, just hanging out, chilling, and enjoying your night, and someone can just, out of the blue, you ain't expecting no company, and somebody knock on your door, ring your bell, you jump. Because you're like, who's that? I didn't. No one said they were coming over. I never invited anybody. You know, we're humans that we automatically go into protection mode. We automatically go into protection mode. But when you approach someone when they're asleep, and then you got guns out. So if you're expecting them to be asleep, then why would we have guns out? All I'm going to say is, man, you got to do 100% better with this whole thing. You know? You want to use no knock warrants, then you need to be staking out the premises a little better and figuring out and making sure you know who is all in this one residence and making sure what's going on. God forbid, what if he had a child, man, and what if his child was in the bed with him sleeping, laying next to him sleeping? What if he had a young child next to him sleeping? God forbid, you guys didn't even give him a chance to get right. You know? You guys didn't even give him a chance to get right. What if there was a young child laying beside him, his child? What if he had a child with him? And that's my time. I just had to let that loose, folks, because we got to start making sense of all of this. I mean, there's a lot of ignorance going on, and people are doing things and not using their brains. You know, people are paid to serve and protect, and they're killing the ones that they're supposed to be serving and protecting. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It's bad enough we got fools running around robbing and shooting and killing, and then they wonder why they say, well, why is everyone getting mad at the police? And there's young kids, black kids, they're doing this and they're killing and shooting each other all day, every day. First and foremost, this ain't the conversation for that. Second, these people are paid to serve and protect. That's the uproar. You pay taxes for these people to serve and protect you, and they're fucking killing you. That's the problem.